Uh, there are some people not at practice today, so just checking in on statuses. Where you want to begin? We're going to run off names.
You can run off names. It's probably best.
Marcel wasn't out there?
Marcel is, we gave him a day off. Nothing too strenuous right now, but we're just monitoring his. He's played a lot of minutes lately. Just monitoring him, make sure we can get him as fresh to the weekend as possible.
And Fallou?
Fallou's sick, so he's got an upset stomach, a little bit dehydrated right now.
Does he have the flu?
Not that I'm aware of. I know he's getting tested. I expect him, I assume he'll be back with us tomorrow, but I'm not too sure of the extent of his sickness.
Sang-bin?
Sang-bin is still left on personal reasons, so he's gone back home.
So have you ruled him out?
Sang-bin will be out for the weekend. The rest of the players are right now questionable. We'll probably have a very detailed answer on that tomorrow.
Okay. And then there are other guys who standard City 2 situation on other guys that weren't there?
Yeah, a couple of guys training and playing some minutes with City 2. It's great for me to see these guys getting minutes and playing, especially at a crucial time of the season. So we've got a couple of guys down there right now just helping that group out.
Okay. How's the team been? What's the mood been? After Tuesday we saw it be energetic. Has it been an energetic week since then?
Yeah. I as mentioned on Tuesday, it was nice to see complacency not sit in. So we're coming off a point against Dallas, a win against Montreal, and in that situation, they came back in on Tuesday, and it was a feisty session. It was the guys were intense, so that was good because it shows to me again consistent character that they're not being complacent right now with a few results. They want to keep pushing. They want to keep challenging each other and challenging the environment that they're in. So a good intense week again, especially in the weather we've had out here being still hot for us. But that'll adjust as well to the game on the weekend. So it's been a good week.
And you still haven't mathematically been eliminated. Are you still at a point where you're not going to look at experimental lineups yet for this team and still going with all of the best guys?
Yeah, I think my philosophy hasn't changed in that. I think I've addressed it a few times, right? It's the training behaviours throughout the week, and then it's based on what we might see in the game from the opponents and how they've played in the previous game. I think for us, we do want to balance still being competitive and winning games. That's something we talk about with these guys all of the time. We want to finish this season well and strong. So with the remaining games that we have, we want to try and pick up as many points as possible. But as a coach and within that, I do try to find opportunities. We've seen that with Seth Antwi last week making a debut. We finished the game with 3 guys from City 2 in the team as well on the field. So it's a balancing act, absolutely, as a coach, especially at this point of the season. But being competitive for these guys and picking up as many points as possible is the primary objective.
Okay, we'll go to Justin.
Coach, obviously before this stretch, you talked a lot about just being hungry to finally get the results because you thought that the play was should have determined that. To get the draw against Dallas, you get the win last weekend. Does it feel like some of that hunger that you're seeing is just finally realizing that you are getting the results that you thought you should have had?
Yeah, when I've talked for a few weeks about how we've trained well, how we've been a little bit unlucky in some games, I felt like last week we started to turn the tide a little bit. A little bit of the luck, as we mentioned, fell in our favour. Whether that was, I think, Roman tipping one onto the bar, a goal brought back for offside. Some of them moments and them crucial moments in the game fell in our favour. So you need that as well as a team. All the best teams in the world have moments of luck in games. You look at a team like Liverpool, they've won the last 4 or 5 games in the 90th minute plus by 1 goal. It just falls their way for them. So can we be a team now that performs well and plays well, but doesn't have an excuse of, but this happened to us, but this happened to us. Last week we put ourselves in a situation where we played well enough to win the game. And any moments, whether that was the unfortunate back pass from Kess, we dealt with that moment well with Roman coming out, Fallou cleaning it off the line, so on and so forth. So we're starting to turn the tide in that aspect. So yeah, I think keep playing well. Hopefully a little bit of luck falls on your side, which you need to win games, and we'll see what we can do.
Does that affect just player mentality of, okay, now we're going into a situation and maybe things do turn out our way versus earlier in the season where it seemed like that wasn't happening?
Say that again, sorry?
Does that affect just the general mentality of the group in training and games when things aren't starting to go your way that way?
Yeah, I think when you're in a situation where things fall your way, it'll increase your confidence. Joe had a back pass last week for an assist for a goal, which in them situations, if he was on a goal drought for 10 or 12 games, he's probably not as confident in the box to pull off something like that, right? So these moments are really important for the players individually. That they feel confident that they can execute the actions. We all know the players at this level can execute any single action in a game, but the mentality and confidence is a massive piece of it. So I think performing well and going on a little bit of a run has increased the confidence within the group. And now the objective is to push for that for the remaining games.
After the last game, Marcel Hartel talked about seeing success in the system, building out of the bag and scoring goals. How big of a motivator it is for the players to get them to buy in, and how much does that raise the level of practice when they start to see that success?
Yeah, that's a massive piece when you can work on something Monday to Friday in the training environment, and then you actually see the success happening on the weekend. I'm sure it builds confidence for the players. It builds confidence for the coaching staff as well. That things we apply in training, apply themselves on the field. So with Montreal, we saw that. We saw a good balance of us building out the back in a variety of ways. Sometimes central, sometimes playing in the wide areas and getting our fullbacks nice in advance. We saw that with the goal with Conrad. And then you can see also when the game becomes open, because we do build out and teams might press us, when it becomes open and expansive, you can see how dangerous we are there. We had a goal, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, with Klaus in Vancouver. We had one with Cello this week against Montreal. So we're starting to become a good team. If you get compact on us, we can hit you in open spaces in transition. And if you drop off, we can build. So it's been good to work on both of them and have success in both of them too.
And can you talk a little bit about the willingness of guys to run off of the ball? I know Sang-bin's out for the weekend, but since he's come into the side, he's been willing to run, it seems, nonstop. Can you talk a little bit about how that changes what you guys are able to do in the offensive third?
Yeah, it's massive. I use the word tempo changing all the time with the guys, which is you start to recognize moments to sprint, whether that's to get the ball, whether it's to open space for your teammates to get the ball. It starts in training. It starts with having an intense environment in training to make sure the players' awareness of when to do it is there, but also they need the physical capabilities and the fitness to do it as well. So last game against Montreal, I always get given a report from our performance team, and we were the highest in like high speed running and sprints and all these categories. So, and that's in the country. So that makes me feel really excited about them moments. The best example I can give you when we watch it is the second goal against Montreal. We have a high work ethic in Conrad to join the attack from 20 yards deeper and just kind of overlap. And then we have the quality of Cello and Klaus to finish the action in the box with composure. So we have work ethic and quality. You put them together, you can be a very dangerous team.
We'll go in the back to Drew, and then we'll go to Tom Schwartz.
Hey, Coach, how do you limit San Jose's passing ability in the final third?
We've got to be organised defensively. One of the things we have to make sure of is our back four's compact and nice and tight, and we also have good presence with our sixes as well. So they're a team that are good in transition. We know the quality of the forwards they have. So we've got to be really organised on both sides. When we have the ball, we call it rest defence. We have to be very aware of them moments as well that we lose it. And then when they have the ball, we have to organise, we have to communicate, we have to make sure we're in situations where we're just not getting too stretched apart as a team.
All right, and then how big of a game could this be for Mackay Joyner?
Pretty big, yeah. I mean, Mackay's coming into the environment. He's been given some opportunities and some minutes late in games. He's took their minutes well and played well within them. So, yeah, if his name's called up on the weekend and he keeps performing like he's performing, I'm happy in the trajectory that he's going.
Go ahead, Tom.
Coach, you mentioned Liverpool earlier. How has this job that you have now affected the way you watch a game? Like you're constantly taking notes. Does that bring anything to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I've always told people in my downtime and off time, I'm actually watching football to enjoy it. I will say, when I do watch a game, whether it's the MLS, Europe, international, whatever platform it is, I tend to too much now watch it from the lens of a coach. Looking for shape, looking for spaces, looking for trends. I'm a coach that believes in the game always evolves every year, and I have to evolve, and the team has to evolve. So I need to give the guys fresh ideas, new ideas, and you can pick them up in a multiple variety of ways. And one is watching games.
You take notes?
Oh yeah, I have a laptop and database of a lot of notes. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Okay, we'll go back to Drew and then we'll go to Tom.
Just gonna say, I don't know if Fallou's gonna play this match or not, but when Fallou and Kessler in, how do you kind of deal with that like lack of pace a little bit?
I think if you're gonna lack pace, you've got to be really intelligent in your brain, so you can adjust and adapt before some opponents. And that's something that even in the last game I thought Fallou was aggressive in stepping up. Kes was really good at like coming up underneath and sweeping him. So they bring some good. Kes brings very good experience. Fallou's shown that he can be aggressive against the ball, which are some behaviours we like to see in players as well. So we've got to make sure that these guys are very, very in tune mentally, recognising space and situations before the opponent. Because even if you're coming up against, some of the fastest guys in the league, if you can read the moment 2, 3, 4 seconds earlier than them, you might still be able to put yourself in a good position to defend the moment.
I was going to ask, I didn't see Kessler out there today. Is he okay?
Yeah, Kessler's day by day. We sort of monitored his load. Had a lot of good sprint distance last week in the game. So the objective for him is to try and get him on the field this weekend and healthy. So yeah, we gave him the day to just do some cardio in the gym.
So you like where this team is looking after all this time? That for this last 4 games, this is as big a push as you can have in these last 4 games?
Yeah, I like where the team is looking, but I've always said we're ambitious. The ownership is ambitious. We're all very ambitious. I'll always look at opportunities to strengthen the squad while I'm sitting in this chair while I can, but I'm very happy with where the team is at also. We've shown we've performed well in a lot of games, and I know I keep bringing that up, but a lot of these games we've competed all the way to the wire. It's been a few situations that have just kind of not gone our way in the crucial moments. With time and sharpening up and fixing their moments, this is absolutely a very competitive team in this league. We should be in playoffs. We should be in contention for playoffs every year. That is the objective of the club, and yeah, that's where we're at.